My name is Jeff. I'm currently volunteer with MGCY on Asia Pacific teams. Um, I'm from Myanmar, but currently I'm in Thailand. I'm interested in community development and youth empowerment as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Susu, but my full name is Naw Hsu Yadanar Oo. I'm also from Myanmar and currently I'm staying in Thailand. After graduation, I am volunteering at Sawanamit Foundation in Mesot. So my interest is migrant education and child psychology. Yes, nice to meet you all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wannsi, and I'm from Myanmar as well. Um, Currently, like Jeff and Susu, I just graduated from Thammasat University in Thailand, and right now I'm doing some research about the digital skill of migrant workers in Thailand. And my interest is in research, and the area of my interests are in especially the digital technology and migration. So I focus on that, and next month I am going into my master's degree at the same university as well. And nice to meet you all.
Hi everyone, uh, I'm Paula and I'm also from Myanmar and currently living in Thailand as well. And I'm a recent graduate from Asian University for Women with a major in politics, philosophy and economics and minor in development studies. And I'm really happy to be a part of this great initiative and I'm happy to meet with you all and learn from each other. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My nickname is Mile and my real name is Naethami and I'm currently studying at Thammasat University with social policy and development. So as for me, I'm interested in women issue, but I have experience with environmental issue because before I joined the university, I have been working with Kisan, current environmental and social action network for 4 years. And nice to meet you all.
Hello everyone. Um, I am Edo and my full name is Paw Eh Doh and I'm also from Myanmar. I have graduated from Bangladesh, major in public health and also minor in development study. And yeah, my interest is I think anything that is related on health care and education. In the community where it is in need. Yes. So nice to meet you all.
For those who are listening, you can always raise your hand and jump in if you have questions or anything you want to add on after someone speaking. Yeah, feel free to do that. For now, I think let's move on the discussion. So the discussions will be on how we can support migrant youth in Thailand accessing higher education. I think this topic is important to bring it into discussion because there's a huge numbers of migrant communities and refugees residing in Thailand. In terms of education, particularly for higher education, it's a huge challenge for migrants and refugee youth with lack of opportunities, access, and support for getting higher education. And also, there are many young people who do not know what opportunities exist and ways they get into higher education, although they really want to pursue their higher education, but there are still challenges for them. So here we have a few representatives who are trying hard and find way to get their education as migrant youth. Would like to invite you here. Also, could you share your experience of migrant education in Thailand? Um, and maybe you can start.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Pada. Thank you, Jeff, for giving me uh, a chance to talk in this uh, session. Okay, so to start with, as I had also been a student, like among other migrant students, I uh, I I can share a brief experience on Thailand migrant education, and this will be based on my personal experience, both in the refugee camps and other migrant education centers in Mesot mainly, where I went for my elementary and secondary school. And I also hope this, represents a migrant education system experienced by other migrant friends as a whole. Yeah, and to start with, during those years, we got to learn academic high school subjects such as mathematics, English, Thai, social studies, science, geography, health, and yes, for some school they also taught music. Um, and my good experience about migrant education is that in addition to the academic subjects, we were also offered the education at an international standard by increasing our computer skills, general knowledge, and also promoting the critical and literate thinking, our English skills, our leadership skills, also engaging in sports and providing awareness of world issues, which we, the children like myself, wouldn't be able to receive it in Myanmar due to the high poverty and lack of access to the affordable educational services. And yeah, moreover, uh, for us who are not quite good in academic, we were also exposed to various vocational options such as teaching training, hospitality training, computer training, and small business organizations based on the locally need and work-based need as well. Yes, so in general, migrant education equipped students, migrant students like us, with knowledge and skills to enable us to be self-efficient and self-supportive in our life. However, despite this given opportunity being provided for us, still, I don't think everyone will receive those skills evenly, depending on not only how committed we are to make the best of the opportunities, but also due to our different family backgrounds and status. Yes, this is a quick briefing about sharing my experience on migrant education, and anyone who would like to add or discuss from other aspects. So please go ahead.
Can you also speak a little bit more on your journey with higher education as well?
So just okay after joining, uh, I mean, after joining my secondary education in Mesot, then we were also connected to the chances, the opportunities to go further for our uh, education, like to go for the university. Yes, so I came to Mesot and joined Memo School, and from where I started having connections with other other GED programs and other university, and by that so step by step we got to go to university. Of course, there are so many things that we have to work on, and of course try a lot. And yes, I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Also, looking at the migrant education in Thailand, do you can think, are there any like missing part for migrant youth?
As I have mentioned, like not all of us, as me, the migrant students as a whole, like not everyone would be able to receive, the opportunities that is given. Yes, because like for me, I feel like because like I had someone, I mean, my someone who I stay with and who also encouraged me to go forward with my study, and he also they also she also encouraged me and also try to find the way for me to be able to move forward with my study. So yeah, so in this case, like I have someone, and for myself as well, I am a very committed person and very uh, ambitious person, to be able to study and find the way as much as I could. So yeah, so for those who have a different family backgrounds, like if their family are in a different situation than mine, then yes, they wouldn't get the same opportunity like I did. And so they yeah, so I think we I mean, for me, yes, this is the things that we have to work on and improve on and consider, uh yeah, I mean, be considerable for them, um, as well. Yeah, to be able, for everyone to be able to get the same opportunity. And I mean, yeah, just have to think of the way how we can have equal access to everyone like that. Yes, that's what I think. Maybe yeah, there might be so many uh, things that we miss, and we yeah, that you think from others.
Yes, I think migrant education needs more recognition because we know that migrant education, especially high school education from migrant learning centers, it's not recognized by the Ministry of Thailand, Ministry of Education in Thailand, and also it is not recognized by international community. So although uh, migrant students graduated from high school in migrant learning center, they don't get the opportunity to go directly to the universities. They still have to look for another step so that they can get admission from the university. So yes, I think it needs more recognition from both uh, education ministry in Thailand and from international community as well.
Yeah, I also would like to add on that. To go to international universities to pursue your higher education, you also need English proficiency test. So like it is a must. And then I think there are not much resources or learning centers here in migrant community to support youth to prepare for those kind of tests as well. I think that is something that we can work on for migrant higher education. Yeah.
Yeah, look like it's not easy for every migrant youth in terms of accessing higher education because of the no recognition, lack of resources, and qualifications. So yeah, and also look at the situation. There are some changes over time in terms of learning and also those opportunity. Maybe Susu, can you share a bit about it?
Yes. So, for those of you who are not familiar with what migrant youths have to go through for their higher education, I would like to give a little bit of background on what they have to go through for their higher education. So, as somebody has mentioned, the certificates that the migrant students got from migrant learning centers or refugee schools, they are not recognized by the education system, like both like from Myanmar, from Thailand, or from any other country. So as a result, migrant students have to get internationally recognized high school certificates. And in migrant community, GED is the most popular one. And then so in the migrant community, we would have like migrant learning centers or a foundation that prepare the students to sit for GD exam to get the certificate and go for university. But because of the pandemic, things have changed and some more challenges are added to that as well. I think the first change is the learning mode. So in the before, students will go through that election selection process, and then once they get into those kind of program, they would go to those learning centers or foundation to get the how to say the training or the program that would prepare them to sit for GED in person, like in physical classes. But right now, because of the pandemic, the classes are not allowed to open in like physical mode, so they have to shift to the remote learning mode. So migrants, on the bright side, we can say that it makes their learning process a little cost effective in a way, because the students don't need to spend all the money on traveling, accommodation, and living expenses to go through those kind of programs. However, migrant students also face challenges related to communication. So first, they have to adapt to the online learning system. Like even though they have lack of stable internet connection, lack of digital literacy, and technical support to accommodate their online learning journey. So so it was just difficult for the migrant students here, especially, and also the effectiveness of those online learning mode. So we can see that there is lack of full exchange or engagement between the teachers and the students during the class, and this could affect the understanding on the materials or the lessons for the students as well. And also, one student mentioned that it also create lack of motivation just by not having your peer or your classmates to study together with. So that is also one of the challenge that I have seen from the migrant students. And we can say that those are the challenges that might be general for everyone. But this second challenge that I'm going to mention is very unique to the migrant community, which is about identification. So, as you may all know, being a migrant can also mean being a stateless for some people. So the students have to have a legal identification either from Thailand or Myanmar in order to sit international exams like examinations. So the first option is getting an ID in Thailand, but it is out of the discussion because it's just impossible to get a Thai ID as a migrant youth. So unless if you can spend a fortune to bribe to get it, so it is out of the question for migrant youths to get. So most of the migrants choose to go back to Myanmar and get their identification and passport as a Myanmar student and come back to sit the exams. However, because of the border restriction, like that pandemic thing, they cannot go back to Myanmar to get their passport to sit the exam anymore. So some of them do not even get a chance to sit for GD to get the certificate that can help them to pursue their higher education. So yes, those are the changes and the challenges that I have seen so far in the migrant education. Yeah, I would like to give the floor to anyone who would like to add on.
Based on my experience, because I used to study in refugee camp as well. So I think we need more information for the refugees, and for the migrant students to pursue the higher education. And most students, they don't really know the clear direction and how to pursue the university, for example. They don't know. And especially in the refugee camp, after they finish the high school, most students, they don't even know how to continue and how to go to another step, because we have like less opportunity. So I think like if we provide them with the clear direction, for example, if a student want to go to the university and then how they have to go, I think we need like more information for them as well.
Yeah. I see your point.
Regarding the changes of migrant education, I also want to add something. I have found that after Thailand adopted education for all policy in 1999, migrant children and migrant students in Thailand are also allowed to study in Thai public school, and the statistic shows that there has been an increased enrollment of migrant students in Thai schools. However, the data also shows that the percentage of the students, migrant students who study in migrant school, also drop at the elementary level. And I think that one of the challenges that prevent and make the percentage lower is linked to the, like Susu already has mentioned, their identification document, because in order to sit for matriculation exam in Thai public school, they also need legal document, they also need their identification document. So I think the issue of not having legal document is also prevented them for reaching higher education in Thailand.
Yeah, I agree. Like that is the systematic problem that we face that we don't know how to fix yet.
Yeah, thank you everyone for sharing the experience and the real situation how those migrant community face, particularly for education. Yeah, I agree that some challenges are not really addressed even up to now. Still, like the difficulty of those migrant youth still, going through. So, I wanna talking about like those legal process and those things. What do you think the roles for the government like to address those issue, this kind of issue? Either the government can be, I don't know, the higher education institution. So what do you think the roles for that?
I think for the higher education institutions, they cannot compromise with those regulations because that is the regulation that comes directly from the government. For example, the Ministry of Education of Thailand or any country. So like they set those requirements to have those requirements for the students to get into their education system. So if we have to fix, I think the people, the government, the people, the body that is responsible for education system itself has to fix. Yeah, but I don't know how to make them fix about this. Yeah.
Yeah, because either like we someone like Paula mentioned earlier, like their education is not recognized. So even you go back to Myanmar, it's not recognized your certificate even in Thailand. So like it's in the middle, like the migrant community are just like cannot go anywhere. So either Myanmar or Thailand. So yeah.
So what I have seen in Mesot migrant community is that it's not about higher education, but it's about high school education. I might say they have that organization called EQAB, Education Quality EQA Assurance Board. So that civil society organization, they act as the mediator between the Thai or migrant education and then Myanmar education system. And then once, when, for example, if there is a student who would like to go back to Myanmar and study, continue to study. For example, he or she has already finished, for example, let's say grade 5 and want to go to for grade 6 in Myanmar, they can go now. So like there is a recognition like that happening already in the high school education system, but I don't think it is happening in the higher education system level. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there might be some like mm, kind of some opportunity, but there are still like not many people knowing about that, not aware of that. So can you also share about what kind of opportunities are out there that will allow migrant youth to access higher education? Maybe Paula, you can share.
Yeah, sure. So, to identify opportunities that are available for migrant youths to have access to higher education, especially for Myanmar migrant youths in Thailand, one of the opportunities would be, as Susu has already mentioned, GED, General Education Development or Diploma Program, which is equivalent to high school diploma. For example, in here in Meso Thailand, there are a number of GED programs such as Mimho Higher Education Program, Brighter Future Schools GED program, and now we also have several other GED programs from other schools and organizations that help migrant and refugee youths to be able to get admitted to the universities with scholarships. And we know that in Thailand, as we have already discussed, high school education from both refugee camps and migrant learning centers is not recognized by the Ministry of Education in Thailand and international community. And therefore, these GED programs really play a significant role in providing migrant youths in Thailand with great opportunities for pursuing their higher education. And another opportunity for migrant youths to have access to higher education is through Australia Catholic University Refugee Program. This is a diploma in liberal studies program, and it was commenced in 2009 and has been delivered by ACU in partnership with York University in Canada, Palms Australia, and the Marist Asia Foundation. And many of the students who finish or who graduated from this program also get the opportunities to pursue their higher education in different international universities. Uh, Therefore, I see that this diploma uh, provides a unique opportunity for both migrant youths and youths from the refugee camps in Thailand to have access to internationally recognized qualifications in higher education. From my side, these opportunities are all what I have known so far. So yeah, any one of you can share other opportunities that you know.
Yeah. It was already good. And there is also one more opportunity for migrant students to get information about the available scholarship as well. So, for example, our foundation, Suvarnamit Foundation, also have a Facebook group or a platform where we have migrant youths, and then we always share informations about upcoming scholarships or other resources for the migrants to pursue their higher education as well. So that is also one of the opportunity for the migrant youths to uh, look for if they want to go for their higher education as well. Yeah.
Yeah, look like GED program is the main way for migrant youth to get them into higher education.
Yeah, I also would like to mention about another opportunity because I have seen one migrant youth who is studying in University of People online. So I think if we can get more information about that, and if we see that that is a little bit more convenient than going for traditional university process. I think that could be another opportunity for migrant youth as well.
Yeah, like what looking at what you guys said, look like we do not have much influence as individual, but we can still support in some way, because yeah, could you also maybe can you guys talk a little bit about how can we support? What can we do as individual, to support those migrant youth? Not mean you
I
share
yeah
about it.
eh, yeah. I want to share a little bit, just my idea. So so we can see that like we have some opportunity for the migrant youth to pursue the higher education, but how do you say, not everyone know, not everyone know about this. So what about if we come out with a platform or a page or a website, then we share the opportunity. For example, like we make a documentary or we make a short video or just share the information. For example, like Paula already mentioned for the ACU, right? And then yeah, for the ECU, actually we can join CMU University at Mihidor and Hong Kong University with ECU certificates, ECU diploma. But like the university like Thammasat, we cannot use this certificate. They require the GED certificate. So what about if we like come out with a, how do you say, that clear information or something like that? We just form an association, for example, a group or a team, and then we invite and we make a plan like two step. The first step, sharing information to the high school students. We can share through our page or our platform, something like that. That's my idea to share the information.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Thanks for sharing, Nami.
Yeah, I think what Normile said is very interesting. And in that platform, I think we could, since you guys mentioned the importance of English skill, I think we could also offer some, online English classes one by one or just upload videos. And I also have some ideas from the perspective of how individuals can contribute to, to better access to migrant education. I think for us, we could volunteer at migrant learning centers, because what I've heard a lot is the schools are understaffed. So that's one way that we could help out. And then if we actually go and interact with the migrant children, one of you also mentioned that the children has no idea of how to go about for higher education. So since we are already having, since we are already accessing higher education, we know how it works, and we could be there with them and then share how it works and be an example for them. On top of that, I think we could also take them to, to our own universities. In Thai universities, they have these open houses, right, where they share information on different faculties. So I think we could also take the children to those kind of activities and events at university as well, so that they see how university is like, what options are available for them, and then what do they need. Yeah, that's
I
pretty.
think it could only be done virtually because, as I have mentioned, the migrant students, they do not have identification, and they don't have traveling, how to
I
say,
see.
yeah, so documentation to travel. So I don't think that is possible to like physically visit the universities. But if we can do it virtually, that could be opportunity as well.
Yeah, with the pandemic as well, it's like pretty impossible.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about, DLC, the learning center, because we were
Yeah.
we were talking about taking them, but then it never happened.
Mm.
Yeah, I think these issues require like participation from all side of stakeholders, either governments, educational institutions, as well as even our community themselves. So like what you guys said, we can support from our individuals as individual in terms of information sharing, opportunity scholarships, all those kind of stuff. We can, yeah, if we have free time, we can even volunteer during our free time to support those migrant learning center because yeah, they also lack of resources yeah in need of skill sharing. I think we can try to find way to in whatever way that we can in contributing. Actually, it's pretty much for today that I want to discuss. Later, you know that you can always check Discord. If there are any events or opportunity, you can feel free to join whenever you are free or interested in anything there.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining this again. Hope to see you later. Yeah, for now, have a good day, everyone.